This week, I'm not gonna lie, it's been quite tough. I got a rejection. I will not let the excellence of that potential future version of this play prevent me from seeing the good that I can do right now. All right, let's try this again.
Have you had any counselling before? Or is this your first time?
Yeah, this is my first official session, but I've done a lot of reading on it at uni and things. Yeah.
Great. Although reading and reality can differ.
Okay.
If you have any questions or thoughts, don't be afraid to jump in and speak them out.
Yeah.
I want this to be a space where you are comfortable, where you can be yourself. All kinds of things come up as we pause to take time for ourselves, particularly in grief counselling, I see.
Oh, grief counselling? No, I'm doing super well on the grief front.
All right, lovely. Nice and loud so everyone can hear you. What have you done this summer?
What I did this summer, 2006. And I'm going to be a doctor when I grow up so I can look after him. The end.
Well done, lovely. You can take your seat. We'll have a chat a bit more about that after class, all right, my love? Okay, who's next? Am I again?
Sounds beautiful.
Yeah, it was. I'm quite hungry. I might try that again. Hello, friends. How's it going? Welcome back to another day in the life. On my journey from being a doctor to an actress. I love it, love it, love it. Hi, I'm Sara. If you're new here, I'm a medical doctor, I'm an actress and a writer because I'm writing a play and I've got some big, juicy updates for you today, friends. I feel incredibly excited. I feel incredibly hungry, actually. So I'm gonna make a salad while I talk to you guys. What's the date today? The date is... It's the 9th of March and this salad says the 8th, but my dad always told me that these dates on packets were written by man, so they can be unwritten by man. So I'm just gonna use that anyway. And then I'm so blessed, you guys, because, oh no, do you know what? Wait, which salad do I use? I don't want gone off salad. I'm gonna have the fresher one, I'm sorry. I'm so blessed because my man actually meal prepped for me a whole load of food, which I'm really excited to eat. It's in the freezer, like the proteins that would go with this salad. So I'm just gonna throw together something while I update you on what's been going on Wadagwan. So basically today I've just come back from church. It is Sunday and don't worry, I didn't wear this to church. It is just very, very warm in here. I actually wore a jumper to church and on the way home I was able to put the top down of my car. I drive a convertible, a very old convertible, but she's cute. She's hanging on. So I was able to put my top down in the car for the first time this year. So summer is here, you guys. And also my flat gets so warm, so in my mind it's like as soon as it's even a little bit warm enough, I'm dressing like it's summer. So don't judge me, this is the outfit of the video. Anyway, what was I saying? Went to church, sermon was super encouraging, absolutely loved it. So as you guys, I'm literally like getting things out of the freezer and stuff as I'm chatting to you. So sermon at church was absolutely gorgeous, loved it, so inspiring. And I was actually up quite early today. Oh, how cute is my man? You guys, I wasn't feeling well yesterday and I had a load of food that I'd bought that I was supposed to meal prep, and because I wasn't feeling well I like fell asleep on the sofa, and my boyfriend meal prepped all the food that would have gone off in my fridge for me, and he's put it in these little containers because he knew that I like eating salads in summer. He's just the sweetest and the best. I thought I'd just give him a shout out there. But anyway, and also he's a really good cook, which is such a blessing, but also it makes me really sad when I cook for myself because I'm like, this would be so much better if my man had cooked it, but I have to deal with my own cooking. Anyway, not today I don't, because he meal prepped for me, so we praise the Lord for that. Essentially, what has happened is, I went to church, super encouraging message, and just loved it. But this morning I was up really early. I was up at like, I don't know, I want to say like 6 a.m, not crazy early, but early for a Sunday. And so I was doing some writing before church, and you guys, it was all flowing together. It was all flowing together, and I'm so excited about it. I've been really struggling to get this draft complete. It's only draft 1, but it's quite like, it's a full length play. This thing is like 60 pages, so I have some people who have kindly agreed to read it for me, but I want to send them a good copy. I don't want to send them something where I know the things I would change. I want them to send them something where I'm like, this is the best that I can do, and right now I'm struggling to see anything I would improve upon or change. So I want to send them a good version. So when it comes to the first draft, I've really been trying to get it to be quite good. This isn't really the first draft. I've had other renditions of this play, but this is the first draft that I will be sending out. And part of this play is essentially, it's a one-woman play, and there's the preface of it, or the structure of it, is that we meet this character in a therapy session. She's in a therapy session having therapy, and then we see her talking to her therapist, and we also see flashbacks. We see flashbacks of what has actually been happening in her life. Spoiler alert, okay? That's not a spoiler actually, because it doesn't give too much of a spoiler, but let's just pretend I didn't tell you that. But I say all that to say, the order of the flashbacks, the way that I give the audience the information about this character is really important, because it affects how, what journey you got on and what you believe and when, and all of these different things. So getting the right order of these little bits of the play is so important. Now what I was doing is I was writing this play like from start to finish. I was writing the play out from scene 1 through to scene 7. However, I realized, I was like praying about it, and I was like, how do I do this? I think it was on like Friday, I realized, wait, we've essentially got 2 different plays going on here. We've got her backstory, and we've got what's happening in the room with this therapist. And so I was really struggling with with coming back to the present moment. I was struggling with going to the flashback, and then how do I get back into the therapist office, and all of these things. And I was like, it makes so much more sense, because I want to build tension. I want there to be, I want it to feel like a real therapy session, real creative license. But I want this play to feel like it's like you're really there in the room with them. And I was just struggling with writing it from top to start. So what I believe God gave me wisdom to do was to just write the therapy scene as one play and then add it in as I go. Do you see what I mean? So instead of writing one big play, what I've done is I've written therapy play, therapy session, flashbacks, and then this morning I finally finished the therapy session, and I was happy with the build and the conversation and the dialogue. And then this morning I was just placing those blocks back in, moving around the flashbacks to where they should go. You guys, I was like, yes! I felt such a release. I was like, yes, this is building, this is it. And I've got one more flashback to write. It is a very big flashback. It is incredibly emotionally intense. And these are things, this is quite literally the first draft. There's a scene in there which I'm sure I will reread that, and when I put it up on his feet, I'll be like, I feel the character would say this or say that, and I might tweak things here and there. But I really feel like I'm getting the skeleton of it.
Hey guys, it's Editing Sara. I just wanted to pop in and say something, because it's really funny watching this back. It is Tuesday the 1st of April, happy new month, and watching how enthusiastic and excited I was about the first draft, and knowing what has happened since, which is that I essentially sent the first draft out to someone, and the feedback just was so different than I expected. I really thought that person would really believe in it a bit more, and I don't think they saw it the way that I saw it, and the feedback was different from the first time I performed it. So to be completely honest, you guys, I got really discouraged. I went back over the last month and almost changed everything, but since I've been learning more, reading more, pitching it out to other people, I've also realized that while I can take advice, the thing that I need to do is create something that I really believe in and that feels true, and that is the best of my ability. So it's just funny watching how positive I was on this random Sunday, and I'd forgotten about this Sunday, and yeah, just to say that it really is a roller coaster. Sometimes you'll feel like, oh yeah, my work is the best in the world, and then on other days you might feel like, oh my goodness, what have I done? What am I doing? I think I'm in a more balanced in-between place now at the moment, where I'm like, yeah, I can improve, but also I can improve and I can do this. Anyway, just thought I'd add that in, because watching this back is very interesting.
like a good skeleton of it. So I've got one more bit left to like properly do. So as the microwave is finished. I always say I'm gonna cook and talk to you, and then I get so carried away with the talking. But I've got one more like proper bit to do. By the way, I love these. I've got these, just an aside, I've got these takeaway containers or these meal prep containers. They're glass on the bottom, plastic lid. And I love the way you've got like this little bit that just pops off. And so it's so much easier to heat. And it means when I take it out of the microwave, I don't burn my hands because I can leave the lid on and just hold it here. And I love that. Anyway, I'm heating up some pasta to go with my salad. I love a hot salad, you guys. In summer or in spring, whatever you want to call this, I do love to eat like cooler foods and stuff, but I like it like I don't want it all cold. I don't want it literally cold against my tooth. I want it to be like somewhere in between. Anyway, what was I saying? So, as I was writing this morning, friends, I feel like it's coming together and I'm so excited. To the point where like I was a bit late for church because I was like, okay, I need to stop writing and get ready and go to church. And then the sermon was so encouraging, and you know, it reminded me of what the week has been like this week. I'm not gonna lie, it's been quite tough. I got a rejection for that. No, that wasn't the order of it. First I had auditions, then I had medical shifts just cancelled. So, you know, the money that I used to live on, hearing that that's not going to be coming in next week or whatever. And that was stressful. And then I wasn't feeling well, and there were all these different things going on. But through that, I was just like, you know what, God, I'm just giving it to you. I trust you. And I was just trying to do my writing. I was like, this week I will finish draft 1 of this play. I will continue writing. And so instead of saying, oh, I'm going to do this or do that or do anything complicated or make content even, I was just like, all I'm going to do is I'm going to sit on this sofa, and I'm so blessed to have a beautiful living room. Or sometimes I was in the office using my desk, but I was like, I'm just going to write. I'm just going to write. And it felt frustrating because sometimes I would like procrastinate and it would get to 4 p.m. So on days where my medical shifts at the hospital had been cancelled, I'd be writing at home and it would get to like 4 p.m. and I hadn't even written. I'd like showered, done some laundry, thought for a bit, recorded a voice note of some ideas, cleaned, cooked, but not actually written. So I'd sit down to write at 4 p.m. like, oh my gosh, I'm the worst person ever. I'm procrastinating loads. And I say all that to say, maybe in some ways I have been procrastinating, but also as I read more about the book, The Artist's Way, and I learn more about what it is to be an artist and to create, I think that it works a bit differently from medicine. It's not just like you show up at work, you do your job, you do this, you do that. I think it's different. I think that when I'm procrastinating, I think sometimes I am actually just thinking. Like even this morning, when I finally pulled myself away from the laptop and I was feeling so inspired and all I wanted to do was continue writing, and I was like, no, you have to go and do things. And in my head, I remember thinking that in the book, The Artist's Way, that I've been listening to, I've not actually practiced it yet, but I've been listening to how to be more of a creative. One of the things she says is that doing the mundane tasks, like going for a walk, exercising, cleaning, that actually is a time where you are really creative and where you are doing the thing, you are producing art still, even though it might not look like it. So as I stood up from my laptop and I was like, no, I'm going to go to church because I believe I should be in church today, and I want to, prioritize that and spend time with my community and all of that jazz. As I stood up to go, I remember thinking, oh, and like the woman says, what's her name? I shouldn't call her the woman. Julia something. Brilliant writer. Anyway, like she says in the book, The Artist's Way, I was like, do you know what? And as I'm doing all of this, my, when I'm in the shower, I might get some good ideas. And lo and behold, as I was getting ready to go into the shower, I had suddenly this imagination, I suddenly saw how I wanted this scene that I still need to write right now, that my last scene left to like draw the first skeleton of, or write out the first skeleton of. Suddenly I was like, oh yeah, she doesn't have to do it like I thought. The character doesn't have to do this thing that I thought the character would do. They can actually do it this other way. And then I started just like acting out. So I was literally like half dressed, getting ready to jump in the shower. I started speaking out the dialogue that this character would say. And I said one line that I was like, oh my gosh, that is it. That is brilliant. Write that down. And so I was like half dressed, running out of the bathroom to grab my phone, and like I recorded this voice note, which, oh my gosh, if this play is a huge success by God's grace, if it's any kind of success, or if who knows, just one day, maybe like a year from now, I might release those voice notes because I think they are hilarious. What I do is when I have an idea, I grab my phone and I just say the idea just so I won't forget it, so it's there. I don't often go back to those voice notes because sometimes I feel like with writing as well, what I'm learning is that it's almost like I just walked into the bin. Sometimes it's almost like there are so many different possibilities. Like the truth is, it's kind of like there's infinite ways that this could go and you kind of just have to choose one. So sometimes with these ideas, I just get them out so that they still exist as a possibility and they're not lost to the infinity of the universe. But often by the time I actually sit back down to write, I've thought of another one that I think is even better. But this one, there was a certain line that I said out loud as I was ad-libbing this play and as I was ad-libbing this scene in the way that I thought that I would do it, I was like, I have to remember that line. So I recorded it. And I recorded like a 5-minute voice note. And I just find it funny because when I play these voice notes back, I have a feeling I'll be like, are you insane, babes? What is this? What is this? It's just me saying, and then imagine like the soundscape and this, and then she's crying and then she's breathless. And it's a complete like mind vomit. Probably like this video. It's a complete like, bleh. But yeah, I guess what I'm saying is there are so many ways that this play could go. There are so many ways, there are so many possibilities of like, what if she does this? Or what if she says this? How will that make the audience feel? And honestly, I'm at the point where it feels like there are so many ideas. And I think they're good ideas. I think they're great ideas. And I just have to kind of whittle them down to like, what am I saying with this play? What do I want people to hear? And sometimes you don't want them to hear everything. Something I'm realizing is there was a whole bit of this play, there's a huge question in this play. And there was a whole bit where I answer that question and I just deleted all of it because I was like, that is not serving the parable. That is not serving the purpose of this play. To answer that question would be to demean it. And I can't really explain it without giving away the play, but essentially there's a big question of whether or not a certain event happened. And I know whether or not that event happened, but I've realized the audience doesn't need to know. And if I give that away, if I try to write this whole dramatic thing where we reveal it, it doesn't serve the story. And that is so cool to realize that and to be like, okay, I'm approaching this as an actress, I'm approaching this as someone who has something to say, but also as a writer, like what is the most powerful way of giving this story, of serving this story to an audience and being able to say, that takes away from it. If I reveal all of that, that takes away, that removes the tension we've just spent so much time building. And I'm really enjoying it. I don't know if you can see on my face, but I'm so excited. I'm really enjoying it. I'm excited for this salad. And I was chatting to a few friends about it in church. And that's something that's also just so great about community. I'm doing this thing recently where when someone asks me how I am, I don't know, I just prefer food that my boyfriend has made for me. Is that bad? I just feel so grateful right now. Can I eat this on camera? I'm going to eat it. So I overheated that, but that is so good. What was I saying? Basically, these flowers are so dead. I need to get rid of them. Well, that's a bit spicy. No, it's not. It's all good. Anyway, what I was saying was, I started trying to do this thing where when people ask me, okay, let me just finish eating because it's really rude to be eating while I'm talking to you. Give me 2 seconds. So good. Okay, what I was saying was, I'm trying to do this thing where when people ask me how I am, I'm trying to answer more truthfully. I'm trying to be honest and be like, this is how I am. And so at church today, I did that. When people asked me, like, how have you been? How's your week been? I was honest. I was like, do you know what? This week was really tough. I had shifts cancelled. I was stressed about that. I wasn't feeling well. But then, it meant, it's been a blessing in disguise because it meant that I've really been writing more. And I'm really excited about this play. And as I did that, as I chatted to my friends about my life and just updated them and was honest with how my week was, instead of just being like, yeah, I'm good, thanks, how are you? As I just overshared a little bit and took up the time that they offered me, I received so much encouragement that I feel really grateful for. So just so much encouragement, so much belief. One of my friends who is also a brilliant writer and videographer was like, hey, let me read the play. I want to read the play. And I was like, you sure? It's 60 pages. And he was like, oh. And I was like, yeah. But yeah, just that conversation was seriously encouraging. And there was something another friend said to me, which was that let your life, that the best sermon you ever preach should be your life. And I was just, and apparently that's a famous saying, but I can't remember hearing that before. And I was just like, whoa, that is so, so true in this time where I've taken a step away from medicine and then I've had shifts cancelled and I feel a bit stressed about like, how am I going to pay for this? How am I going to pay for that? You know, I've got weddings, friends' weddings coming up, hen dos, all these things. Like I have built up a certain life that I would like to be able to continue to finance. I don't want to have everything fall apart and all of these things. But as I take each step and I do what I believe God has called me to do, because I really do believe that writing this play is what I'm supposed to be doing at the moment. I really believe that I'm meant to put it on. I really believe that there is a message in here that is for people. I truly believe that. But as I'm doing that, I need to allow my life to be a sermon. So if I was preaching, if my life was a sermon right now, what would I want to say in that sermon? Do you know what I mean? For those of you who aren't familiar with going to church, a sermon is just like a long lecture, basically, a lecture where they just teach you how to live like Christ, just how to live a good life. So if I was currently with my life trying to show someone how I live a good life, I really think that I would just be thankful. This might be a time where I'm supposed to give thanks and trust God and be faithful in the waiting. I think that I would interpret, if this was a sermon, and you know the sermon today was so good, I think that I would interpret this season where the shifts got cancelled and I wasn't feeling well, I would interpret it as a blessing in disguise, that suddenly I had all this time to do my writing. And funnily enough, I found out that there was a deadline, which I would have missed if I hadn't finished writing the play this week, or this, or that, whatever it is. So, you know, I think that it's so easy to see things in hindsight. It is so easy to see like, oh yeah, God was doing this, or I should have been more grateful for this, or that was actually a blessing and an opportunity. And I just want to live that in the present, you know? I want to live that. Guys, I love beetroot. I feel like beetroot is so slept on. It is just the best. It is so refreshing and so delicious. Anyway, I want to just live that in the present. I want to stop being like, I don't want to panic. I'm going to enjoy it. People always say like, oh, the best parts, like whenever you see, I don't know, writers or actors who you admire, and they really do say that the best parts were before everyone said it was great. It was when they were creating it, and they really do like have a lot to say about the process. And so I think I'm just going to believe them. I'm going to believe them, and I'm going to let myself enjoy this season. Let myself enjoy this season of, do I call it waiting? I don't know if I should even call it waiting, but enjoy the season of creating, I think, more. And the truth is, I do enjoy it. Writing this morning was so fun, like seeing it pieced together. And I'm so excited. Do you know what the most annoying thing is, though, about this writing, right? Is that I have thought of this one bit, this one tiny bit of a scene that I've got left to write. I've thought of it like 100 different ways. And I really think that all the other ways are also super valid. But you just have to choose one. And that reminds me of another thing I heard from the book The Artist's Way, which is that she said, like, a painting, or someone said, I might be quoting, you know, attributing the quote incorrectly, but I heard it from this book. She says, a painting is never actually done. You just stop painting at an interesting point. So I think I'm kind of trying to hold the play like this. I will keep writing. I'll keep trying. I'm going to keep learning. But, you know, when I have moments where I'm like, oh, I should have read this book on how to write a play, or I should have done this course, I should have done this, I'm still here. I'm still alive. There will be more plays, by God's grace. There will be more plays that I write. And I think I can just accept that this one is what it is. This is the one that I've written now, with what I know now, the best that I can now. And, you know, there might come a time where I pause writing it and I put it on. And it might even be that I pick it up in 10 years when I know even more. And I create a new version of it or something. But either way, I will not let the excellence of that potential future version of this play prevent me from seeing the good that I can do right now. I'm just not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. So I feel excited. I feel good. I feel like I should add some chickpeas into this salad. Although this is a lot of food. I tend to do that, you guys. I will just keep adding food until suddenly this like healthy little meal is just like a whole kingdom of food. Where is my colander? Where is that thing? Anyway, I'm going to put this salad together, and I will show you before I end this video. I'll show you what it looks like, because nothing more annoying than not seeing what someone's been putting together in a video. The most important rule, I think, is to only put in food that you actually like the taste of. Too many times I've read a recipe for a smoothie and thought, oh, that doesn't look good, but let me trust it and make it. And then lo and behold, it doesn't taste good because I don't like cucumber and kale. I mean, I don't mind cucumber, but in a smoothie with just kale, oh, spare me. And unfortunately, I am the kind of girl who just adds salt. I am my father's daughter. Probably shouldn't do that. This is my salad, you guys. Can you see it? Wait, I feel like you can't see it properly. Let me just tilt this down. Can you see? Right, this is the salad. So we've got chicken, chickpeas, whatever this is, beetroot, tomato, pasta. You can't really tell the difference. I overheated everything that I reheated because I was just chatting and I put it on for way too long. Some burnt to a crisp pasta and some salad leaves. And I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to eat and then I'm going to do some writing. I'm super excited. I'm so excited. I'm really excited for when I can share this play with you guys. I know that lots of you are from all over the world, but just thanks for like watching these videos and encouraging me and sharing on this journey. I'm so excited. It's going to happen. I'm determined. One thing about me, when I make a decision, as far as by God's grace I can do it, let's go. I'll do it. Thank you for watching. I love you so much, and I will see you in my next video, and I hope you have a blessed day. Love you. Bye.